In a universe where I am not a disappointment, I believe everything we were supposed to. That Pokemon is satanic. Christmas trees are pagan propaganda. And rock music rhythms are sex drive mind control worming its way into the contemporary Christian praise music genre. I nod along in earnest as Pastor Alvin reminisces at the pulpit about looking down on his friend for living in sin with his fiancée instead of moving in together only after they were married. When I see rainbows, I remember they exist as a sign that the next time God kills most life on the planet, it won't be with a flood. When I see dinosaur fossils at the museum, I remember all those bones and the method of carbon dating are the fabrications of some particularly resourceful cabal of devil worshippers. The keystones of their vast and ancient conspiracy of Earth being over 6,000 years old. I remember that T-Rexes and velociraptors were the product of genetic engineering by the technologically advanced antediluvian civilization from the time of Noah, and natural abominations whose very existence were an affront to God's design, which is why he had to drown all the dinosaurs, all but 2 of each natural animal, and all but 8 humans, who had a lot of repopulating to do afterwards. I believe most Christians worship on the wrong day of the week, and that most of them will be damned for it. In this universe where I am not a disappointment, I believe everything we were supposed to, and act right. So even though you and I still meet at church, we never get close. We never spend that summer writing letters to each other. You never lend me your Harry Potter books in secret. I never practice driving by taking 3 different freeways to your house, and I get my first kiss from someone else. In this universe where I am not a disappointment, I don't switch majors, and my dad doesn't try to strangle my mom in the kitchen during my last year in college. He dies while driving recklessly with no one else in the car, or he finds Jesus instead of just pretending to, or he dies from cancer, like better men than he have done, so I can act like I'm sad when he's gone. In this universe where I am not a disappointment, I don't switch majors. I finish nursing school. I become an RN. One day, I float to the ER and get an attempted suicide for a patient. I look at her red bandaged wrists and all I see is weakness. I look at all the other beds full of accidents and sickness, think about food poisoning and allergic reactions and falls from ladders are mistakes or happenstance, but this coward, this selfish and faithless wretch chose to put herself here. I think about God, sculpting Adam out of clay and breathing life into him. Instead of speaking humans into existence like he did with every other form of life, I think about Jesus, bleeding out and suffocating in agony on the cross to save our souls, and I know this girl spat on the greatest gifts that our loving Creator has to offer. Without a moment's doubt, I recognize my patient committed the unforgivable sin, one of the few beliefs that even the Catholics get right. And fueled by that fluid mixture of reflexive contempt and second-hand mercy, I invite her to church, trusting in Jesus and Pastor Alvin to heal that part of her I've been directed by doctrine to despise. She turns my offer down, and God erases her name from the book of life. And I have faith that if her parents are saved, then after the end times and the second coming and the resurrection of the wicked for the last great battle where all that is sinful is purged from creation, as it is written in the book of Revelation, Jesus will wipe away their tears as they watch their daughter burn beyond the pearly gates. And I don't think of her again until a couple of years later when you die. In this universe where I am not a disappointment, you kill yourself, like you did in this one. But I believe everything we were supposed to. And at your funeral, while the pastor your parents invited gets through the entire homily without saying your name, I don't even notice.